injury report and some of the new faces we might see on Wednesday?
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, Celio's undergone successful surgery. Still in Dallas as we speak, hoping to try and get some transport up in the next 24 to 48 hours to get him back and welcome him here. You know, he always brings a smile to us in our environment, and now it's time for payback that we give him the smiles, you know, and give him the energy he needs right now. It's a tough moment. Yeah, we'll help him get through this. Joachim, at the time of training now, has gone to get some pictures taken on his hamstring, and we'll know more in probably when I go back to the building. Then I'll know more. Yeah, I think that's about that for now.
Justin?
Coach, Johnny Klein mentioned on Saturday that Cilio injury, if anything, it's a bit of a rallying point for the team to kind of come together around him. Is that kind of how you're viewing it as you're preparing for Wednesday?
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously, you know, doesn't take a genius to look at the roster and where we are. And every team's been through this since the beginning of the preseason. You've seen teams with sometimes fielding 4 subs on the bench. We've seen it. We've seen it multiple times, and now we get challenged, and now we get to prove, you know, what we are as a unit, as a group, as an organization, and believing and standing and sticking together. So, you know, we've brought in Johnny Klein. We had Caden Glover. You know, we have a plethora of young guys that we can who are performing at City 2 to bring up. So, you know, we will see one or the other coming to the roster this week. Michael Vance has been leading in City 2 and doing a great job. So, yeah, we'll keep some of these guys remaining with us through the week. And yeah, I think, Steve, that answers your question that I didn't get to.
Santi?
Probably you work with Chris Armas in New York Red Bulls. Is it special for you to face against him?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't have any blood family in America, but he's as close as to family as I can say it is, right? So he's a real brother for me. We went through some great times together in New York, and we had some testing times too. So, you know, we've always stuck together. We've always kept in touch with each other. We've always connected, and you know, we're gonna embrace each other, you know, and really have a good battle. He's done an amazing job now. You know, he's deserved a bit of luck in his career after, you know, where he's been, you know, just in Toronto and his stations prior to that. So, yeah, just thinking, you know, this is one now that, you know, he's embraced and been supported and really revamped that whole roster. And Colorado looks like a different outfit, you know, under his tutelage. So, you know, it's gonna be a nice battle on Wednesday.
And just back to the young guys, Tyson Pierce and Brendan Marsorley. I saw them obviously doing region with the team, but does it look like they will be here all week and maybe be
Got a
in
keen eye,
consideration?
you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, Brendan's out there doing some regen. We just wanted the guys to be connected with our group. You know, they played Sunday, we played Saturday. Both teams doing a regen. Both teams, you know, just connecting and being part of who we are, and you know, just getting bodies around who spent preseason with us, who know our principles, who know our way. You know, we practice what we preach. So it's just to get connected and belief and energy, you know, pulling from every single side, because now is the time we need everybody, right? And so, yeah, there will be a couple of faces in and around here.
Brennan?
Coach, are things particularly tough for Joachim with the number of injuries he's had to battle with you guys the last year and a half?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? Because, you know, through no fault of his own, he's never really, you know, over time been able to get up and running, right? So there's a setback just around every corner, and we support him and try and manage through it, and we work around it, get it to a certain point, and you know, and it's through no fault of anybody's, right? So Joachim undergone, you know, 3 surgeries, I believe it was, before, you know, playing for us. And then we get him ramped up. And usually for spending out a long time, he's done a remarkable job of getting himself to a point of competition and being eligible for games, right? So usually when you leave 15, 16 months on the table of injuries and 3 operations, you know, you have massive dips and big problems and up and down. So, you know, it's kind of, you know, I'm almost like excited and surprised that he's got to this point and played so many games, which is awesome, because I've had some injuries, some bad ones, and as you come back, the next thing falls because you overcompensate. There's a disbalance, there's this, there's that. So usually there's other problems, you know, lurking around the corner, but he's played, you know, he's put himself into contention for the last 6 months, which has been great.
Next, we'll go to Matt Baker.
Hey, Coach. There have been reports
Matt.
today about a potential move for AZ Jackson to the Columbus Crew. Can you comment on his availability for Wednesday?
Yeah, I've had no official news as of yet. And we had some guys out on the field now and some guys doing regen. So, if something comes up there, you guys will be the first to know, and we'll make some sort of a statement if there is there. There's a lot of chatter online about a lot of things. So yeah, we'll just have to move along and see where things go. So yeah, I can't really comment on that, Matt, because I don't have the power right now to, within the rumor mill.
Steve, Coach, throughout all the injuries and the lack of scoring and everything, you can get right on point with 6 points in the next 3 days. Talk about that. This could be a turning point.
Yeah, I mean, so we've had 17 games of like, what is our grade? You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been pretty honest with each other from 0 to 17 that we've improved a lot of things in our game model, and it's keen on the eye. But what has it actually done for us? So, while we've improved, we just have to keep on bringing it back to who we are and what we stand for, and get those points on the board. So while we've graded ourselves 18 points by far substandard, subpar, what we believe in our short history, right? So we only have us to compare with us from 1 year ago. So, we're judging us on us. And that's a pretty tough thing to do right now based on how last year went, right? And we've seen so many nice things this year just without the reward. So, my advice is we have to be better than this 17 games that we just had, and 3-4 more wins, right? And that gets you playoffs pretty much, right? So it sounds easy. That's the equation that, we look at. And then that's the long-term plan. That's when you zoom out and you see the whole season now, what's remaining. And now you focus in on Wednesday, and then you focus in on Saturday again. So, there's 2 big hurdles for us: home games, opportunities, points on the board to be had. So, we're starting with Wednesday against a very good Colorado team. And we're excited, and we're going to embrace this one.
Coach, Klaus had a great opportunity in the first half on Saturday, couldn't quite cash it in. I don't know if the roster was different, if there were less injuries right now and less congestion maybe this week, would you look to change up Klaus's routine to maybe free up some results for him? Do you feel like he's struggling or just not quite finishing like you would maybe expect?
Yeah, we want to create chances, right? We want to dominate teams in and around their box. And I think we've seen a lot of that, right? And if you think that you can go to Dallas and get 20 shots off, or go to Miami and get 20 shots off, that's the credit to what these guys are doing, and they're putting in max effort and max belief in what we are doing, and we're seeing the returns, right? So Klaus has been as close as he ever was. I don't account just one opportunity. I account 3 or 4 opportunities, right? So Pice had an excellent game in goal. And, we got a lot of shots on target. We could be guilty of some shots that always go wayward or something, right? So we're the #1 shooting team in the league, but now we had some really clear ones. We had some really nice ones. We forced some great saves out of a good goalkeeper, right? So yes, Klaus, I remember, he has the one that you're talking about where we turn the ball over high up the field, and it's our DNA to a core, right? Klaus gets the shot off, perfect, game model signature. Then we have the header from Edu Löwen, and then we have the cross from, I don't know, if the right-hand side from Toddy in the second half, and then the one low and hard where Martin saves it down low to his right. So we speak of 4 very good opportunities, right? So Klaus is in these areas, and I can feel it. He has great energy. He's putting on a ton of work. He's finding the right moments, which is awesome. Now we just have to help him to get that last step, and that's the one that goes over the line.
Justin.
Coach, in a short week like this as well, is it a benefit that City 2 has been rolling in the way it is, so that when you can call on those players that they are in good form and have?
Yeah, I think it's a mechanism that we have to use to our advantage, right? It's a mechanism that we monitor the players coming through all the time. It's a mechanism we have guys training with us periodically. So there's so many good things to do it, and not only because the team's doing well. We believe in a certain foundation in our core pillars and core beliefs, and whether we pulled guys up last year or whether we, it's a plug and play. Guys know their job, know their roles, and will be able to execute. So again, we really care about guys coming through the ranks. We care about this organization showing a pathway, and I said now in the beginning, you know, the opening statement, it's a time now to prove who we are.
Thanks so much.
Hi,
How
Bradley.
you doing?
You mentioned before that you guys have only yourselves to compare from last year. Is it tough to look at all the results that you were getting last season to know you guys have a lot of those same core players and you're not getting those results this
No,
season?
the landscape changes from year to year and season to season. So while, you know, we can go into the filing cabinet and the history books and just pull out that, you know, score sheet, you know, we have a current set of players, we have a current set of rosters, we have a current set of, you know, dynamics. And you cannot take, you know, the players from last year and put them, even though they have the same names. You know, there's certain things and experiences that players go through without making any excuses. You know what I'm saying? So we can speak about player health, right? We can speak about contact injuries. You know, Thomas Ostrak gets tackled in training, season end. Like, you know, he's just he has you know, these things are happening, right? So Thomas is off. Rasmus Alm goes through a contact injury, you know, and now Celio Pompeu, you know. So take that, the emotions out of it, but players are carrying, you know, that's a problem. Then you get, you know, the Edu Leuven story, you know. So there's so many things that it's easy to go to a filing cabinet and you pull out things from last year and it looks great. You go to the same year and then the league is not what it is now, you know, a year ago. So, you know, the league of parity, every year, every team has an opportunity to take steps forward. And we've seen a lot of teams taking many steps forward. So, you know, while we are fighting ourselves for sure, we are driving ourselves, we're pushing ourselves to get to that next level. But the opposition in Germany, they always say the opposition never sleeps. Just when you think you've got it figured out, the opposition has also done something, right? So now it's just this game of parity and being one step ahead, and that's where we find ourselves in now in fighting to get one step ahead again.
We got time for one more. We'll go back to Matt.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned Chris Armas as a person. You mentioned his impact on Colorado. Does playing a coach that you have familiarity with and the same style that you both graduated from essentially make it easier or at least different in how you train for them?
Yeah, it doesn't mean that they're playing exactly the same style. I know some of the fundamentals, but to get a signature or to get a stylistically things going according to what your core beliefs on. And Chris has developed in the last 3 years, you know, being at Man United or being at Toronto or, you know, being an assistant coach at Leeds, you know, got new information and new ideas. And all of a sudden, you know, he goes on his pathway as a coach. So, you know, that's, so is it identical? No. Is the verbiage the same? Very similar. But yeah, these things take time. So, you know, it's been interesting to follow the process this year with Colorado. And yeah, you know, on the one hand, I'm really happy for him, but the happiness stops around about Wednesday, 7:30.
Coach, thank you for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brandon.
That's
Does this mean extra special with Colorado? Does we feel like that sort of Wednesday night?
Yeah, I think I have a point to prove. You know, I've been looking forward to this game for a while, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I know a lot of the guys. I was close to them when I was there, but yeah, I'm excited.
What was the best part of your stay there? What good memory comes to mind about Colorado?
I mean, personally, the state was beautiful, but yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Anthony, Colorado had some new players since you left. One of them, Rafael Navarro. And we talk every week about facing some of these DPs. But what have you seen and what do you know about him?
I mean, from watching some of the games, I think he's very hardworking. So yeah, I mean, I don't really pay attention to that closely to know what he does, but yeah, I mean, from the outside, it looks like he works very hard off the ball, on the ball. So yeah.
We were talking to Coach about this, that you know, you can blow away all this rough first half of the season with just a couple wins this week. You feel like, I don't want to say desperation, you feel like we need.
I mean, especially at home, I think every home game should be a win, especially. But yeah, these next two games I think are very important because once you get one win, hopefully the next win, and then it progresses to more.
Anthony, you've had a pretty good connection with Cilio when you played next to him on that side. With him being gone now for the rest of the season, is this a bit of a rallying cry as well, knowing that you're not going to be playing next to him for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's gonna miss Celio. I think he's one of our best attackers on the ball, and I think especially 1v1 attacker. So yeah, I think we did have a pretty good connection. So yeah, I mean, I think we're all gonna miss him.
Yep.
Where is the level of frustration with not getting the results that you guys want? How badly do you guys want to start winning games as opposed to getting the draws or losing?
Yeah, of course. I think everyone wants to win, you know. I think some of these games that we did play, I think majority of them we should have won. That either ended in ties or draw. Yeah, I mean, I think most of these draws should have been wins. But yeah.
Does that add to that frustration that you guys are in some points dominating and not getting those results?
Yeah, I think it is frustrating, especially last game in Dallas. I thought, especially the second half, we we're all over them. It just, I think once we get one goal, the goals will start coming. So yeah.
Brendan?
Sorry. Anthony, what ways do you think you've maybe changed as a player since coming over from Colorado to St. Louis in the last 9-10 months? And where do you think you've improved?
Yeah, I think majority was the confidence part. You know, coming from Colorado here, I think a lot of the guys, the staff gave me a lot of confidence when I first came here. You know, they were very welcoming. So, I mean, that's what I think I struggled in Colorado was the confidence part, but yeah.
Go to Matt Baker.
Hey, Anthony, I wonder if you could talk a little bit about the positional battle for left back between yourself, Akil, Kyle. What's that like day in and day out? And what are some things that Bradley looks to give you the edge that you try to strive for in that battle?
Yeah, of course, there's competition every day in training. I mean, so, I mean, yeah, competition, that's all it really is. I mean, it's a battle between, yeah, what you said, Akil, Hebert. So, yeah, I mean, just competition. That's all I really have to say.
You feel like there are certain things, qualities off the ball in the attack and the defense that give you an edge in trying to win that battle?
And every player is different. So, yeah, I mean, you know, Kyle's more defensively better, but Akil's, I think me and Akil are similar in the attack and defending. So, I mean, yeah, every player is different.
Else? Good. Anthony, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it.